From organization to organizing, and back again, Lopdrup-Hjorth's Object and Objective Lost. Organization-phobia in organization theory describes a peculiar trajectory in the history of organization theory. The discipline was originally built around a relatively simple premise. Organizations are real social forms that can be deliberately constructed, maintained, and improved. For Taylor and Barnard, organization was not merely something to observe. It was something to build and a fundamental means of achieving collective action. Over time, however, organization theory increasingly turned against this object. Contingency theory located organization in its environment. Institutional theory shifted attention to fields and institutions. Constructionist approaches treated organizational realities as produced through meaning and interaction. And process theory eventually made organizing more fundamental than organization itself. The organization increasingly became an effect rather than a starting point. This intellectual movement is understandable. Organizations are indeed contingent, historically produced, relational, and continuously reproduced. But it also contains a questionable inference. If organization is not fundamental, it must be theoretically secondary or even unreal. That does not follow. A storm is not a fundamental substance of nature. It is an emergent configuration of atmospheric processes. Yet storms are real, have distinctive properties, and have causal consequences that cannot be captured simply by describing every atmospheric interaction from which they emerged. Organizations may be understood in the same way. They are not necessarily fixed entities existing independently of organizing. Rather, they are relatively stable forms produced by organizing processes. But once such forms emerge, they constrain and enable subsequent processes. Structures, routines, roles, authority relations, resources, and boundaries become conditions for further organizing. Organization, therefore, need not be either a primordial substance or a mere epiphenomenon. It can be both an effect of organizing and a condition for further organizing. This suggests a way beyond what Lopdrup-Hjorth calls organization-phobia. Organization theory does not need to return to the classical idea of the organization as a perfectly bounded and coherent object. Nor does it need to dissolve organization into processes, practices, networks, and institutions. The more interesting question is how organizing produces relatively durable organizational forms and how those forms subsequently shape what can be organized. The organization does not have to be fundamental to be real. It only has to be consequential.